So after Franklin warned Louis that there is nothing he wouldn't do to protect his future, we saw Cissy return, and she noticed the tension between Louis and Franklin, and it is definitely going to become worse before it gets better. Now, she's also got problems with Buckley, who we saw already in the projects, and he's waiting for someone to be served up. But Leon isn't playing games anymore, he's strapped up and ready to take the fight to the LAPD if he has to, which is definitely a dangerous game. But Leon is done being treated the way they were. But where we started with the return of Cissy, we also finished with Cissy telling us she wants Teddy dead for what he did to Alton, but only after she gets the real answers as to what happened to him. So she definitely wants revenge and is going to be plotting behind Franklin and Teddy to take him off the board. And it does sound like she's been putting things in motion for a while with someone called Anna. And we also saw Franklin face the truth, but he's stuck, for now anyway, because I'm sure there will come a point where they'll come head to head because they're going to be deeply involved in a chess game this season. But we're also going to go through Jerome, Peaches, and Veronique, and how Franklin Saint needs to keep his head on a swivel, because I really do think there is going to be a betrayal this season. But let's kick things off with Cissy returning, and the big family reunion, where we watched her walking into her home, reminiscing of the time she had with Alton, and a young Franklin Saint, thinking about the good times with Alton's voice telling her that what he did for them. And that's because he knows the dangers that is lurking for Franklin, and that's why he tried to expose Teddy with Irene last season. But now Cissy wants to finish the job that Alton started. But she knew that someone had been staying there because she saw Wanda's shoes and the messy bed. And they did meet later on in the episode, and of course, Cissy was okay with Wanda staying. But as this was happening, we saw Jerome finding Maurice's tapes and the projects being raided, which we'll get to in just a moment. But it led to this meeting between Leon, Jerome, and Franklin, with Veronique sitting in the back as well, and Cissy telling them that she came as soon as she heard that Veronique was pregnant, and Franklin was going to be a dad. But is this the real reason she came back? Alton disappearing definitely would have played a part as well, because she wants some answers, and once she does get these answers, she wants him dead. But first she saw the empire that she laid down the foundations for in previous seasons, because she was the one who was building the real estate business with Franklin as their way out the game, and also to give back to the community. And we even heard Franklin telling his mom, "You built this house." But at the dinner which Leon refused to come to, because he wanted to be there for his people after the projects were raided, and also where Louis had to be convinced to come by Jerome. We had Cissy telling them they don't exactly know what happened to Alton, officially anyway, but she knows that it was Teddy who killed him. And Franklin questioned Teddy in episode 3, but he threw him a bunch of lies telling him that he was an ex-Panther, it could have been anyone. But now that Cissy was back, and his mom telling him that it was Teddy, he still didn't want to believe it. But I do think he knows that it was Teddy, because there is only one man who can make Alton disappear the way he did, and that is Teddy McDonald. But she noticed the tension between Cissy and Franklin, especially after Franklin brought the topic up of Alton and questioned his disappearance. So this is what forced Franklin to telling Cissy that they were back working with Teddy. So with Teddy now back, Cissy wanted back in the business, and she was talking about the game, not the real estate business, because she's been in the game long before, and she also lost Alton because of it. And also because she's got a hidden agenda, and that is to find the real truth about what happened to Alton and kill Teddy, the man responsible. And she's definitely started playing her chess moves because she met someone called Ruben telling him that she's made contact with her family, and Franklin confirmed that Teddy is back and she wants him dead. And it does seem like she'd been working on something for a while, because Ruben mentioned that he was someone who knew Anna. So it seems like Cissy has spoken to Anna about everything that she's lost and what Teddy McDonald and the CIA are up to. So let's see what happens with this. But let's talk about Jerome, Leon, and the projects next, because these lyrics that Uncle Jerome heard went along the lines of he's supposed to be a saint, but he's dark as shit. He's playing both sides till he ends his friends. And he was also rapping about Khadija and Manboy and how they were goners. Now this first tape pretty much explained how Franklin killed his friends, who were Kevin and Rob, and how Khadija, Manboy, and Fatback were all killed, as well as baby Tiana and mothers in tears. And he was rapping about real events and also the truth, Franklin filling up his safe while all these people were dying on the streets. And I've mentioned before, Franklin Saint is no saint, and nobody ever is in this game because of the consequences that come with it. Franklin started this business because he wanted to help the community, but last season we saw him shut down Alton's homeless shelter, to even closing down this old couple's bookstore. So Maurice definitely was telling the truth, but the second tape is what pissed Jerome off, because he said the uncle with the nephew, he's got eyes, but can't see. And I do think it is setting up for someone close to betray Franklin. It was one of Manboy's prophecies just before Franklin killed him, and he told him that everybody is going to turn on him. There was also Peaches, who looked mad paranoid when Franklin came in, and I'm really not sure about Veronique either. The way she handled the gun even raised eyebrows with Franklin, and also how the camera stayed on Veronique in this scene, and the look that she gave when Franklin picked up the phone. But if she is undercover, then she's someone who's got some serious pull, and is making a move to make even Franklin trust her, because we saw Franklin go to an ultrasound. So if she is undercover, then she's got some pull with doctors. And what do we even know about Franklin's new girlfriend? Not much at all. But even if Veronique is for real, I do think a betrayal is coming from somewhere, and Franklin needs to keep his head on a constant swivel, because it has been teased that there will be more than one agency looking into him this season. But as Jerome paid Maurice a visit, we had Einstein telling him that he had 15 hours worth of snitching, and he was putting their whole business out on the streets. Now Maurice called it he was observing the neighborhood, but regardless, putting their shit out there for the whole world to hear, that's something that Jerome knows he needs to shut down, especially if those lyrics are stored in his head. So let's see what Jerome's next move is, and where his head is at. But one person who we know where his head is at is Leon, because after Buckley rolled through the projects and set his dog on one of his people, he was pissed off, because this was supposed to be Louis' cop, who they thought Louis had wrapped around her finger. So we saw Louis meeting Buckley and telling him that she'll find someone to serve up, as well as Franklin meeting Teddy and asking him if he could pull any strings from his end, which he said he couldn't, because LAPD were done taking orders from Teddy, especially after the shit that Alton pulled. But Leon warned Franklin if they want to bring it to his people, then he's gonna have his people armed and ready, because if they want a war, he's gonna give it to them. And this is the Leon that takes no shit. He's back, and we even saw him meeting Arvy to get armed up, because he's the guy with the guns. But Arvy did warn him that what he's gonna unleash on his people if he kills one of theirs, because I'm sure he's someone who's been through it and seen it all. And all hell really would break loose if the police lost one of their own, as we all know, because they don't let that shit go. But because Leon didn't turn up to the family dinner, Cissy thought she'd pay him a visit instead at the projects, and she even saw the heavy guns that Leon's got now at his disposal. So she told him that there are other ways to wage revolution. For example, when they were at the Panthers, they made changes without even firing a shot. And she told him the path he's going down will either end up with him in dead or in jail, and that's them winning and him losing. But there are other ways to go about this, and there are other people in the world that want to help, and that's what Leon actually wants to do. He wants to help his people, not just in the projects, but everywhere, because he recognizes what they're doing gets people hurt, fall to the pipe, or get arrested, and he wants to make a change. Ironically, what Franklin set out to do in the first place when he got in the game. But Leon is definitely loyal to his people, and he even told Franklin that he can't be sitting having a steak while his people are getting hurt. So he showed us that he's someone who leads by the front, because that's what a true leader does. But did Cissy get through to him? And will he see there is another way than waging war with the cops? Because it really would end in a bloodbath on both sides, and Leon really would lose more than he would win. But that was episode 4, so drop all your comments down below, especially on Cissy's return, and how she's plotting against Teddy. And also, can Veronique be trusted? Drop all your comments down below, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Snowfall and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.